All right, Shalom.
All right, Shalom.
Okay, call on
All
live.
right, Shalom.
All right, Salaki. So pretty much, you don't got to rewatch this, but I'm redoing this because I didn't like the first one. I basically said a lot that didn't need to be said, um, more than most, we even sit and listen to. I had a complete point, and I just want to stay concise with it. So I'm gonna be redoing this Gambit update, which is going into, you see the title, um, Russia Rubble, the Russia Rubble, buying gold, Russia's buying gold, and the G7 to suppress Russia's gold sales. So the Russia's ruble, which is their dollar, their form of the dollar, their currency, and them buying gold, and the G7's uh, pretty much desire or endeavor to suppress the sale of Russia and their gold, you know, gold sales. Okay, so like I said, this was going to be quick one. These war gambits, they World War III gambits, which this is going to this particular things I'm going to be focusing on. It's going to be another thing to prove that World War III is happening. The update on where we at in the complete outbreak and the manifestation of World War III. These are never to be long or drawn out, but just concise and to the point. So before we get into that, I'm gonna say call Lam La Yahweh Bash Meow Shai Waha Wakakudash. Double honors to the hopeful elect elder apostle slave to be saved. Um, and to the rest that may be out here under this doctrine, to the men here at this congregation, in the order, brothers here, in the order in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom, and to the rest of you believers, well, the rest of you Akim, you elder Akim, also teaching, uh, on down to younger Akim teaching as well in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom, and to the rest of you believers, you men, women, and children of the Israelite race, and on this faith of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Shalom, ultimately to the elect, those that are about to go on to be found to have under the house of David. So this first article I have, Russia's 132 billion, and if the music is louder than my voice, as always, let me know, and I will turn it down. But it says Russia's 132 billion in gold reserves could face U.S. sanctions as new legislation seeks to choke off potential lifeline. Report says, and the reason why this is being mentioned, their gold reserves is being mentioned, is because that's what they're about to resort to, Russia, due to their ruble collapsing, which is their form of their U.S. dollar. Like how the U.S. has their own dollar, the Russia got their own dollar. Everybody uses. You can acquire different things with it. But with Russia getting hit with all these sanctions, that's caused their ruble to collapse. You know, so they're resorting to gold. But here you go. It says it's the next article. Russians are buying so much gold amid the ruble's collapse. You see, the ruble's collapse, that the central bank halted its own purchases from banks. So it's that bad. And the reason why this is happening, because the ruble is collapsing. So that's causing, it's going to lead forth to this. It says right here, this is on the Axios.com. And it says it drives people, and this is going into the collapse of the ruble through the new sanctions, right? But anyway, on to the point, it drives people to withdraw their cash in mass, and quickly try to convert it to more stable currencies. You see, to more stable currencies. That Russia dollar is completely on the verge of being valueless. It says such, but they want, so they're gonna the people over there, they're trying to take those rubles they have that's still worth a little bit and convert them to stable currencies, you know. And that's what they're trying to do on a whole, from the small investors to people that own businesses to their oligarchs, everybody. It says to save stable currencies such as the dollar, the euro, gold. That's the point. Gold or even cryptocurrencies. And it says run in parentheses runs on ATMs were already starting to happen in Russia over the weekend, meaning what? People starting to withdraw their money out of these banks. The Russians are withdrawing the money out of out of their banks. And these are indications that World War III is about to happen. And it's from, the low class citizens to, like I said, all the way to, the oligarchs, which is the people that actually run Russia. Because Russia's really, they're how did I call it earlier? How did I say it? Pretty much they're self-sufficient. And it says rest in peace. This is from a stock exchange expert, someone from Russia, right? Rest in peace. It says, dear comrade, on Russian TV, analysts toast to the end of the country's stock market, which is pretty much where a stock market is where it's the complete just moving around of currency, right? And then and if it's the Russian stock market, the Russian currency, which would be what? It would be the ruble. And really quick, Salakia, bear with me. So getting into it, Salakia, Russian stock exchange analyst Alexander Butmanov is toasting to what he is viewing as the death of the Russian stock market. Yeah, life and death is on the line. Russia completely on verge of not being, if you will, the Magog that's going to go on and fulfill, scripture to be the nation that's going to suit all the other nations and lead them to the destroying of America. They're on the verge of not being the people to do that, right? No, that's not going to be the case. But that's how bad it's getting. And this is how we know this is another gambit. These moves is going to lead to World War III because in all, worst case scenario, they're going to result to the sword being Edomites. But anyway, it says Butmanov, founder of financial technology company DTI Algorithmic, appeared on a market-centered television show, only to pull out a soda and to toast to the end of the market as he knows it, according to local media. Rest in peace, quote unquote, dear comrade, he said, according to a translation. The New Yorker's Joshua Yaffa posted the video of the TV in a moment in a tweet. This is where we're at. A Russian investment expert pulls out a bottle on live television to toast the end of the country's capital markets, and says he's going back to working as a dress-up Santa Claus. So they finished, and this is it in the Russian language. Here, play on this. So this is good news, man. And how do we know this is going to lead to World War III? Well, it's building. We're going to build it up.
Экономист, основатель инвестиционного клуба «Союзники», эксперт по биржевым стратегиям. Александр, здравствуйте.
Приветствую, добрый день, не говорю.
Да, никто уже сейчас не говорит. Биржевые стратегии сегодня это вообще атовизм или вы еще надеетесь в профессии остаться?
В крайнем случае я буду работать Дедом Морозом, как 25 лет назад.
Ну, это расход только.
Кроме шуток, давайте быстренько это сделаем. Я передаю привет Сергею Ющенко, который пил 12 лет назад, 13 за смерть фондового рынка. Сегодня я пью газировку. Дорогой фондовый рынок, ты был нам близок, был интересен. Покойся с миром, дорогой товарищ.
Я не буду комментировать этот флешмоб, не хочу к тому что-то верить. Давайте про такие...
So this is how we know Russia is done, The Edomite Russians are done, and they're about to resort to their tactics. you know, which is the method of which they were told to only be able to, the only method of which they were told to be the only way they could, not die and instead live. And that's what the sword, through what Isaac told Esau, they're going to result to that. He said, by the sword thou shalt live. You're going to have the fatness of the earth, which they went on to obtain when you read Psalms the 73rd chapter, you know. But I'll say that I'll say that for the end. Let me see. But yeah, that's what this is this is how that's going to come about. This right here, this how bad it has gotten, and this is proving that what people are pulling out their money because the rubble is collapsing. It's not worth anything. So when people pulling out that money out of their money, it's not out of just banks. It's out of things that work through banks, which is investment firms, like, if you will, for those that's familiar with Fidelities, people pulling out completely because they know if they don't pull out and take that money that's almost completely valueless, when you jump up here, this the collapse of the rubble. This came out February 28, 2022. It says when you jump down, it sends it's through these sanctions. It says it sends interest rates skyward as global investors pull back in horror at the idea of lending to banks or countries that use a currency that could become worthless. See that? That's how it works. It's simple. But my point was more so this: since the start of the year, the currency has fallen more than 40%. So it's almost completely not worth anything. Pretty much pretty soon you could basically be a millionaire in Ruble, right? If before this 40% happened, right? Since then, you got, man, you got like 600,000 left, if you will. Because 10% of a million is 100,000. So if the rubble has went down 40% in value, according to this, like I said, you probably only got like 600. You're not even a millionaire no more. So before you completely go for broke, you're gonna pull out, right, out of everything. You're gonna take everywhere you got rubble at. You're gonna pull. You're gonna take it. If it's in a bank, if it's in a company, as an investment, as a share, you're going to pull all that out. You're going to try to what? You're going to try to flip it. It drives people to withdraw their cash in advance and quickly try to convert it to more stable currency, such as the dollar, the euro, gold, or even cryptocurrencies. And it says runs on ATMs were already starting to happen in Russia over the weekend. This has been going on since February. The end of February, basically the begin. We still in March, which is basically February 28th. This is the last day, so that's basically March, so and that's how you have you have the him toasting to the end of the country stock market, because the stock market is where everybody got rubble at. The Russian stock market is where everybody got rubble at. Before they completely go for broke, they're going to pull out, and that's going to cause all the businesses that was $1 billion up, millions of dollars up, to lose money. The people like these guys that own the companies that people invested in to lose money, they even pulling out to where it's to this point. It says the crew of a Russian oligarch, remember that word, oligarch, $600 million super yacht was fired after sanctions meant wages couldn't be paid, reports say. And this came out March 9th, some days after. So this is real. This is manifesting. And you got to watch what America say. But, we got the proof right here that this is happening. You know? And for those that watch, you know, you got somebody, you probably know somebody that speak Russian. What did he say? Show him this video. What did this guy just say? Okay. And then we can actually take this and we can translate it. That's what you can do. You can take this, right? I'm gonna do this real quick. Just to see. Okay, detect the language. I believe they speak German. Bear with me. You got to be diligent, you know. Let's find out. Russian, right? Russian. Well, I thought, but I'm not seeing it on here. Or am I overlooking it? Where are you at? Okay, here we go. Select. An expert on, this is in English, so this is everything he said. I copied and pasted. An expert on exchange strategies and economics on the heir of RBC drank to the death of the stock market in Russia. See, the host of the program did not expect anything like this from the guest and only said that she would not comment on this flash mob in any way. See that? And this is from the tweet. That's what I put in. See that? So you see it, you seen it here live, man. So this shit not made up. It's real. Okay. But anyway, so back to the point, what I was saying was the way you have this happening is because the ruble has collapsed, which is their dollar, and it's causing everybody and their mama over there to try to hurry up and convert it to something else to where they don't completely go for broke, because there's still some value behind it. You know, Russia, they still own gas and et cetera, you know, but everybody pulling out, investors, the people, the stock market is the banks is losing money. Everybody, people that's not invested in anything over there, in the companies, the owners, the CEOs of those companies, that's the companies on that Russian stock market that are being invested in, they're pulling out. And how do we know that? Because look, the crew of a Russian oligarch's $600 million super yacht was fired after sanctions meant wages couldn't be paid. He pulling out. He like, I can't do it, bro. Where this thing going? He said, I can't do it. You know, the crew of the Russian oligarch Alisher Uzumanov's super yacht was fired on Monday, report said. The companies that staffed the boat said sanctions meant crew wages couldn't be paid. Forbes reported. Uzumanov's estimated worth is $18.4 billion, and his yacht is valued at $600 million to $735 million. So yeah, he got to cut his expenses. See that? So it's happening. All right. There's another dude, sanctioned Russian billionaire, and they're coming after their and these because what are they doing? Are the oligarchs, which is, like I said, remember that word oligarch, which is relevant because this is what this guy is. They're coming at the oligarchs, but are these guys, which are who? What is an oligarch? These are dudes that actually fund Russia. They actually fund Russia, and they don't want us to simply know this because an oligarch is another name for who we tell people that run the world, the whole earth, which is who? The elite bankers, because they got the money to persuade things in their favor, which is how we know they run the earth. That's how it goes. So You think they gonna? What do you think? As I said, what do you think if these are the guys that fund? Because he's an oligarch. What does oligarch mean? A small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. A country governed by an oligarchy. It's a government. It's a government behind a government. You know, it's a shadow government. It's a shadow government. Oligarchy is a form of power structure in which power rests with a small number of people. Yeah, because they said it's like 7 oligarchs in Russia. So basically, they run everything. These are dudes that got Russia to the level they own because Russia's self-sufficient. They like, instead of us spending our money with everybody, we're gonna just invest here. So Russia was able to, through these men, to get all the metals and high-tech technology, you know, through dudes like this, and develop a military on such a level, you know. But with the sanctions being put on Russia, that's causing that caused the ruble to not be really to not have any value. So everybody named Mama is going for broke, including these dudes, which businesses help make up that Russian stock market. If people are pulling out of the banks, which they own, you got oligarchs that own banks, oligarchs that own, this dude owned a damn soccer team. He owned all type of stuff. You know, they invested in this, they got this business, this partnership. That's gonna cause people pulling out of out of all those things, right? Because they ain't trying to go for broke, they're losing money. And then at the same time, they're pulling out of all those things. They have to sell the business just so they can, because they ain't been making money. For instance, when you go back here, this is the last part on this. It says the viral moment, right? It says he will go back to being the host went on to ask Butmanoff if he will continue to work in the financial sector moving forward, and Butmanoff joked that he will go back to being a quote unquote mall Santa like he did when he was younger. The viral moment comes as Russian markets have now been closed for 4 straight days, and this is the point I didn't make in the first one. After the country's invasion of Ukraine, there ain't no money being made. Money being lost too. Because really, if they can't make any money and say it's certain things they wasn't able to catch and put a pause on before anybody pulled out, that could have been billions. So they lost all of that, and where they could make money at, they can't make money because that stuff got paused. So they completely in the negative. You know? So it's just, hey, this is heavy information, man. You know, this is good news because you think these oligarchs that run Russia and got them to the level of being a top military, the Magog written in the Bible, these dudes, these heads of over many countries, these the dudes wounding the heads. And how y'all gonna actually come kill these dudes? We're gonna, take them out. They're gonna go into slavery. But yeah, they say the Lord says He's gonna wound the heads over many countries. The heads is going into the top men, the chief men. These the chief men. You know, it's tons of oligarchs. It ain't tons, it's a small number. They fund. You think they're gonna just take this land down? So let's read this real quick. It says sanctioned Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich tried to offload his vast assets amid clampdowns on the country's oligarchs. You see, take a look at his luxury empire, including the 3rd largest yacht in the world. He has the 3rd largest yacht in the world. And they're going to show some of his assets because he's trying to sell his assets. They changed this title. So I have it pulled up on how it originally was. This is how it originally said it. It said it straight plainly for what it is. Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich is trying to sell his assets as the country's oligarchs are hit by sanctions. Yeah, individual sanctions. See that? They're trying to sell everything they got and get it in some type of liquid form because it's an asset, and whatever liquid form they can get it in, which is probably, here, I'll give you this for so much gold. I'll give you this for, this many US dollars, because they could take those same US dollars and go buy actual money. Because obviously you wouldn't get rid of this to keep a US dollar. There ain't no damn money, and that shit collapsing as we speak. But while the collapse is happening with the ruble, the FRN is collapsing. But that's what they're doing. So you notice how, because it's the same article. they put offload his vast assets. No, say it just plainly for what it is. He's trying to sell his assets. They trying to flip money. They going for broke. So Russia, on their way, shit, they damn near out of there, man. They got a bunch of oil left and stuff like that. But this is how we know before Russia go for broke completely. They gonna play out being that Magog. They gonna resort to that sword. They Edomites. This is how they gonna live. They dying over there. They can't look. They can't live anymore. They losing their life. It says now, you know. So that's basically that. And the reason why he's trying to sell his things, like, let's get to some of the things this dude got. It says he's one of the richest men known in Russia. He was one of 7 Russian oligarchs got sanctioned by the UK government on March 10th. So they targeting these dudes. It says before being sanctioned, individual sanctions, you know, because you got economical sanctions, you got tons of different sanctions, but you got individual sanctions. And the reason why they sanction in certain individuals, hence being these oligarchs, these dudes that run the country, because they actually do run the country, you know. But I got something to even, but with them doing that, that gives credence to them, the idea that it's an actual people that run the earth. If it's a people that run the most powerful military on the earth, right? They're called oligarchs. That gives credence to the notion of someone running the earth and swaying things in their favor due to them owning money and banks and having the value and the say so, and they the people that could play crazy. That's who people gonna listen to. People, you know, ain't no goddamn voting. People don't listen to other people with opinions. You either got money or you play crazy. You know, that's who people listen to. So with them targeting oligarchs, and when you look up oligarch, it's people that fund the, you know, that run the country. That, you know, this is them, really them. That's that, but that's them telling on themselves too. Just to throw that out there, that the elite, it is elite bankers. The Rothschild families, the Illuminati families do run the earth, and they all Edomites. Before being sanctioned, Abramovich scrambled to sell his assets, including his $3 billion soccer club, Chelsea FC. Russia, he was one. This Roman dude, he would say was one. Roman Abramovich is one of the richest known men in Russia. Bloomberg pegs his net worth at $13.5 billion, a $4 billion slump since the beginning of the year. So it's been all bad for Esau. We only in March. His net worth peaked. He lost $4 billion. I go crazy. Out of 13.5 billion, if you will, he's lost 4. It says his net worth peaked in 2008 at 23.5 billion, and he's only been going down. Why? Because Esau going down, all of them. It says he's 55. He is known for his collection of super yachts, luxury cars, private planes, and homes around the world. The Wall Street Journal once nicknamed his global collection of extravagant possessions, quote unquote, the Roman Empire. You know, he owns stakes in the world's largest producer of refined nickel, according to Bloomberg. That's able to be used. He's one of the billionaire is the largest shareholder of Everest, one of the world's top producers of steel. See, so he can get deals for the Russian military to, you know, develop those, you know, those damn you know, those damn nukes, man, those swords. That's how they at the top, these dudes, because Russia's self-sufficient, you know. And that's basically it, man. He sold 70% of his stake in Russian oil companies, Cybernet for almost $10 billion. He also offloaded his aluminum assets for more than $2 billion. And that's basically it, man. He completely going for broke, man. You can read this yourself. I'm not gonna go into all of this. He's trying to sell a whole team, man, because of what's going on. You know? So these are dudes that's funded, and they're being targeted. oligarchs are being targeted. Why? Because they actually are running Russia. And that gives credence to the like I said, the same notion that it's a damn group of people running the earth. And the reason why he's trying to flip and sell his assets, once again, because obviously the Ruble crashing, but and they trying to turn it into gold. But if he don't get rid of this yacht, right, it says this is what happens after Russian oligarch yachts after their seized. This came out March 9th, same day. It says freezing the assets is the simple part. Deciding what to do with them could touch off court battles that drag on for years, and they ain't got that many years left. But it says what? The latest round of sanctions go further than any other coordinated global round of sanctions on individuals and create new legal questions that have yet to be answered. Now, reason why you want to hurry up and get this flip, because even if you go for broke and you got a bunch of assets sitting around that's always going to be valuable or always be able to get you money back, you always got money. But the minute someone takes those away or stop you from being able to flip them, right, which is through them taking them away, in this instance, you have nothing. And then they can't further fund anything. And that's what they're doing to these oligarchs. They say they unleashed a wave. It says the sanctions against Russian oligarchs imposed by European Union, the UK, the US, and other countries unleashed a wave of asset freezes across Europe. Officials impounded a 213-foot yacht owned by Alexei Mordashov in Imperial Italy, Igor Sinkin's 280-foot yacht in the French port of Lai Otat, and Ashler Uzmanov's $18 million resort compound in Sardinia. So they pulling up on these dudes and they taking their shit. Now, these dudes are the guys responsible for funding war and, basically they're like big mob bosses. What, you think they just gonna take this land down? No. Russia still got military equipment. They still got oil. They ain't completely broke. They just, they're being put in position to completely be taken out through this basically, proxy war. But, nonetheless, that, they're gonna tell Russia like, yo, they're gonna tell the Russian military, take these motherfuckers out, man. Take the US, they're gonna look at the source of how this is happening. Take this whore out. That's what's happening. It's bad. And this actually updated. So that's why he's trying to flip that, all his assets into what? Into gold. And there's one more point I want to make on this. And these articles, by the way, I'm going to say these came out 16 days ago, some days ago. But we're just now today, 16 days ago today, are seeing the manifestation of this desire or endeavor by the so-called by the U.S. and the G7, which who's being helped by the G7, but some, what I'm saying, that's basically that. I gotta come back here. I don't want to rock the za. I'm basically through this, so everybody's selling they stuff. Business from the niggas responsible for the Russian stock market, the regular people, they getting rid of those rubles and trying to get gold, man. And now the US see that's how they're gonna actually sustain themselves. It's a lifeline. So they trying to clamp down on that. So you think if these people got this much money put up and oligarchs, they used to having this and that, they just finna go down with that? No, they're gonna have to take America out, man. They're going to grease the palms of the military, and they're going to be like, yo, y'all need to make that move, but we ain't funding nothing anymore. And then there goes Russia. There goes Putin's. There goes their lavish life. Putin not going to have that, man. You can watch this, but this says Russian oligarch stashes second yacht in Turkey, apparently to beat Ukraine-linked sanctions. See that? So this stuff real. This the dude right here. The soccer club owner and sanctioned Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich has docked in a resort in southwestern Turkey, a country that's not applying sanctions on Russia, which is how we know Russia is Gomer, which is mentioned in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Gomer, Magog and Gomer, over its invasion of Ukraine. You know, and NATO, Turkey, they in NATO. I'm not sure if they left or they about to leave. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and this proves it because they, So yeah, man, this is really happening. So they not gonna take this land down. Here go another instance. Sanctioned Russian billionaire banker Michael Hill Friedman was locked out of the private equity firm he co-founded, and staff were told to ignore him. A dude, this nigga owned a bank. An investment firm. He's a Russian banker. He owns a bank, and he stepped down from the board of the investment firm he co-founded. But he has money in that stuff. He can control how things work. So it's some shiesty stuff going on over there. So, and you just got to think who's responsible for all of this. Like, people own stuff, is home is being wrecked. By some woman dealing with everybody. And that's really America, man. Because America is using Ukraine to beef with, to try to take Russia down. It ain't nothing but a proxy war, man. The billionaire is among oligarchs sanctioned by the EU in the response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So yeah, Freeman was barred from entering Letter One's offices and speaking to employees per the FT. Yeah. He was locked out of the investment firm he co-founded after he was hit by European Union sanctions, the company announced on Wednesday. And then it says it was something on here that basically Freeman's assets in the company were effectively frozen. See that? And his rights as a shareholder were taken away. Letter One's press release said he won't receive dividends, funds, or communications in any way, said Letter One. So Musk trying from the inside is working for America. America gonna get took out ultimately, and they gonna get who that is. But to tie my point home, I had an article that was going into what is an oligarch, and you can't even find it no more. They took it down. Why? Because the whole idea of them targeting oligarchs, which and you looked at where oligarch, it's a small group of people, it's elite people that basically got the resources, the money to control everything, which links up with the whole idea of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Reynolds, all these families, these Illuminati-ass banking families running things. It took it down. But closing out, it says Russia has a massive gold reserve and U.S. senators are going after it. And that's where everybody's really trying to flip they rubles to, through the selling of, from the low class to the oligarchs, through the selling of, buying gold, from the low class to just trying to take whatever rubble, anything they got, any money that they got in the form of rubble, or that was through the form of rubble, and flip it for, gold, other stable currencies, but more likely it's going to be gold. Gold is arguably one of the best assets you can own. Not only is a safe haven asset able to maintain its value during a time of crisis or market volatility, but gold has continuously risen in value over the years, which is why they're trying to tap into Russia's $132 billion reportedly gold revenues. They're trying to make that face sanctions, them not being able to use it at all. But at the end of the day, even if it's sitting and gold pretty much goes up in value, this can double. If gold doubles in value, this could double. And they see that as a lifeline for them not to bounce back. You know, they see it. Let me read this. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators proposed a bill targeting Russia's $132 billion in gold per Axios. And that's the site that I have right here. You know, so it's the same. As I said, these regular people that's just from the market insiders, they ain't doing they diligence, man, on what's going on. And people got to talk because the Lord word got to manifest. This really the news for us. You know, the men set up. It says the legislation to bring it out to us and let us to our people that's in this truth and people in general, and to you damn elite bankers and let y'all going, bro. World War III is about to break out from this. That's what Russia is going to resort to, and y'all know it. And you elite bankers, you think you're going to escape, but you're going to go into slavery. And the Lord is after you, elite bankers. He's after the heads over many countries, according to Psalms the 110th chapter. And there ain't nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You could try to take all the money and assets and valuable things underground with you. Well, the scriptures say in Job, according to that which he labeled not for, and according to his abundance shall the restitution be. So everything you take back and everything, with you underground, like the damn animal you are, you only gonna give it back, man. You're only gonna give it back. That's how much you're gonna give back. You're not gonna come out of the ground after World War III and go to the nations that's left, and you can blackmail them or extort them because you got everything. You will play crazy, and people have to listen to you because that's how it works. You got all the things that human life that you need on earth to sustain, which is different precious metals, stones, herbs, all type of stuff. They got all that stuff, man. You're not gonna be able to come and bring that to them because Yahweh Shah, because that's why Yahweh Shah gonna come back to make sure when you in those underground with all that stuff, you got it secured, and we gonna come get your ass. Yahweh Shah is gonna come get you, and we gonna pull you out of the ground and take all that stuff back. That's how it goes. See, verse 18. This is Job 20:18. That which he labored for shall he restore. And how did you labor? By you procure all that stuff to yourselves by the sword. And you over time your ancestor developed the sword because he was told that as a child, and he applied that as a child. And since he was a developing creature, the sword, the use of him using the sword would develop with him. And the sword has became ultimately a nuke now, man, and words and all type of shit. But it says that which he labored for shall he restore. And ultimately for was everything, the fatness of the earth, the riches. You're going to restore everything, the whole earth, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. You see, and he shall not rejoice therein. And that substance, which is everything, you're gonna y'all gonna try to take underground with you. And you're gonna give it up. Because he hath oppressed and forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away in house, which he builded not. You stole America. You stole every damn word. You stole Israel. And this is why this is gonna happen. And the poor being us Hebrew Israelites. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. You can't rest for this. This is why y'all being irrational as hell right now. He shall not save of that which he desired. See that? You're gonna be out of there, man. It says, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. Y'all got everything and you struggling right now because you're on your way out. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. That's your own people. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating those nukes. He shall flee from the iron weapon, see, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. There it is, man. your ass gonna be out of there, man. You know? So this is the portion of a wicked man from God, the most high Yahweh from outside, and the heritage appointed unto him by God. This is your fate. You live in your destiny out. You elite bankers. Y'all ass gonna get dug out them holes, and we're gonna put them chains on you, man. You know, y'all gonna be the first fruits of the slaves in the kingdom. You know, y'all, you know. So that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? I basically hit everything. I'm sure I'm about okay. I'm on good time. You know, I'm trying to keep these things short. It says the legislation will apply. You know, it says the legislation would apply restrictions on American entities making the gold transactions with Russia central banks holding. So basically, they trying to stop Russia from taking the gold they do have and flipping it to other people. You know, like, here, I got it for this. Y'all the biggest gangsters and the thugs on the earth. Y'all are the gangsters and the thugs and niggas. You damn so-called white people. All right. So that's how the G7 is trying. That's how the G7 trying to lock down. You know, on this. You know, they trying to basically extort you. You know, through people you could sell it to, but they got political ties with them, and that's why everybody gonna end up hating her because she played that card. You know, but this is why America, this place is gonna be fucking destroyed, man. The U.S. Capitol. You know, it says the senators aim to include the gold sanctions on the omnibus spending package that could pass as soon as Friday, and this was from 16 days ago. So I basically touched everything, and I got some spiritual that I want to do with this. But if you notice on here, this has 666. You know, 666 on these bars, man. You know, that's spiritual. But it says Russia. So Russians are buying so much gold amid the ruble's collapse that the central bank halted its own purchases from banks. So basically, what it's saying is Russian central bank is suspending purchases of gold from banks amid increased consumer demand, because people in Russia is trying to take all their rubles and go to the banks and buy gold, but that would leave the banks with no money, because the real money is not these pieces of paper, it's the precious metals and things like that. And that will leave the people with all the value. And then another thing, so that's how you know they just going broke. So if the oligarchs seeing this, Vladimir Putin, the man they set up, what you think, you know, if it's that bad, what you think they're going to resort to, man? That sword. Russians have sought gold as a way to preserve wealth as the rubble tumbles to historic lows. Western companies have pulled out of the country and sanctions have crippled the economy. Yeah. You know, so what you think is going to happen, man? I got one quick scripture. Yeah, that's basically it. I touched everything. Call Allah how about Shemel Shah. You know, so Russia has a massive gold reserve and U.S. senators are going after it. So they already got gold sitting for a rainy day and they trying to take the rubble they do have and convert it. You know, that way they do got money. But they going after the gold they sitting on. So Russia was holding, man. You know, it was holding. So let me go ahead and get this. They're gonna resort to the gold. They're gonna resort to the sword. They're not gonna, you know, that's not gonna be how they, you know, the Russians have sought gold. Russians are Edomites, so-called white people. Sought gold as a way to preserve wealth as the rubble tumbles to historic lows. Well, that ain't how the scriptures say y'all gonna get it. You know, they say you're gonna get it like this. Let's see. Pull them up real quick. I don't want to like this out. See if I can get it. You know, the sword. So this is what's going to lead to World War III. And good timing. We hurry up and close out. This is Genesis 27 and 37. I'm gonna start at 38. And Esau said unto his father, the so-called white man, but hast thou but what blessing my father bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept Isaac's answered, his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the heaven from above, and by thy sword thou shalt live and shalt serve thy brother. See? So the way you can get everything, you will get everything, but it will be through you getting it how you live will be through the sword. See that? So that's what you have to resort to get everything. And when you about to lose everything of what's life for you, you will have to resort back to the sword. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. How? How he gets the dominion if he's serving, us? Is meant to serve us because he's by use of the sword. He was in a dead position. He came to life of the party, as I said in the first one, through the use of the sword. Everybody else dead. Now he the life of the party. He says that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So that's that. Look, and it go on and say it. And it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. It got through to him, man. He like this. I gotta kill. Murder, kill. So this is how they gonna get down, man. They not fair. Look at the life, and that shows. I brought this out in the first one that they love money, which is gonna be the cause. They love that fatness, that lifestyle that they have, which is gonna be the cause of them resorting back to the sword. All this money they got, you think Russia? The niggas living like this? Come on, man. They gonna tell them, look, bro, bomb them, nuke them. We'll fund more of it. They got more money left. For the love of money, 1 Timothy 6:10, of all is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, which Esau kind of example of, even though he was never in the faith, but he kind of did, and pierced himself through with many sorrows. The stuff people would do for money, man, for their lifestyle, when they love it, like I said, people turn on God for the Most High, man. I mean, people turn on God for money. That's what Esau did with that suit. He turned on the Most High. He said, "What's all this blessing, this birthright give me, man? I'm at the point to die." You see, niggas love the pride of life. Worldly nigga, man. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men into destruction and perdition, which is going to be the result of the love of their estate, which they're not willing to lose, which is, pretty much, a flood of destruction, man, of nukes. Which takes me to the last point. This is Isaiah 34 and 4, 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, so-called white people, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shah is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness. See that? Because the Lord's going to use World War III to get us everything back, to get the restitution back, through Yahweh Shah and the elect, the angels. It says, and with the blood of the lambs and the goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord Yahweh had they sacrificed in Bosworth, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So that sword is going to, those nukes is going to go through the heavens when they shoot them, and they're going to come down ultimately just upon Idumea. These are Edomite issues, So Lord willing, this has been edifying. I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Kakadas. Lord willing, this was more concise and to the point. Shalom. World War III going to happen. They're going to push that button, man. The oligarchs, just watch.